to our parents and our great-grandparents that make us who we are today. So I want you to listen very keenly to my message, and I want you to spread the message. And of course it will be spread because it will be broadcast in Liberia on so many occasions. President and officers of the National Bong Association in the Americas, fellow Liberians, ladies and gentlemen. Princess Aramita, my wife, and I greet you in the name of Kamen, Almighty Kamen, and the spirits of our forefathers and foremothers, the likes of Chiefs Panga, Pe, Kuyon, Toto, Swakoko, Yawapulu, and Superintendents James Y. Babier Sr., Augustus Kokoya, Henry Augustus Greaves Sr., Harry Augustus Greaves Sr., Joseph Yoate, Bade Zeze, Ian Cassell Sr., Venetius Vorpo, etc. Special thanks also to Honorable George Toto, officers, members, and convention organizers of the National Bong County Association in the Americas, Incorporated, for selecting me to be your keynote speaker. The expression Kukele Kukatono means we are all one in the Pele language. It is the central theme of my message tonight to all Liberians and the people of Bong County who, technically speaking, are my surrogate brothers and sisters in law, because my wife's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ramesses A. Port Sr., were prominent citizens of Bong County. We were married at the St. Peter's Episcopal Church nearly 40 years ago. 3 of our children were born as Bong County citizens at Phoebe Hospital in Swakoko District. And my family and I lived on the campus of Contextualizing University, where I served as a professor in the Humanities Division from 1985 to 1988. Indeed, the people of Bong County have proven to me over the decades that you are true brothers and sisters in law, because I married a beautiful lady from Banga, Bong County. If you're looking for a good and trusted woman, go to Bong County. Amen? All right. Tonight, my wife and I came here for 2 reasons. We came to say thank you to all Bong County citizens for being there for us over the decades when we needed you all the time. And 2, we came to beg you to stop signing death warrants of all Liberians and the citizens of Bong County because of your status as a so-called vote-rich county in Liberia. This is very serious. People come to you, politicians come to you and lie and say all kinds of things. Oh, Bong County is vote-rich. And you cast your vote for those people that kill our brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers and all of that. It's a serious thing, and I want all Bong County people to understand that the decision you make when we have elections in Liberia is very important, and you should not be selling your votes and selling our lives and endangering the lives of everybody in Liberia. It's very significant that you understand that. So I came here to beg the people of Bong County that because you're supposed to be a vote-rich county does not give you that right for you to endanger the lives of all of us. I will prepare separate messages for the citizens of Monsuwaru and Nimba when the time comes. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters in law, let us get to business because time is of the essence. Batio Bati. Batio Bati. Yo. Yes, that's what I want to hear. Now, in your letter of invitation, you specifically requested me to speak on the topic, uniting Bong County citizens to contribute to the socio-economic political development amidst disunity and corruption. That's why you asked me to speak on. Even though, however, Bong citizens are not the only citizens from Liberia that are experiencing disunity and corruption. Yeah. You're not the only people. So because you're not the only people, rather disunity and corruption are widespread in Liberian society, even beyond the borders of Liberia and around the world. This is the reason many Liberian organizations are dysfunctional, including the nation itself. The fish rots from the head. Including the nation itself. Hence, there is a Liberian parable that states, they say goat's hair got burnt. And then you are asking if goat's beard got burnt. You're crying about corruption in your organizations, but the being country itself is going through the same thing. So Bong County is a subset of Liberia. Things that happen in Liberia will affect the people of Bong County. It will affect the people of other counties as well. So that's very important. Okay, hence to put your request in proper historical, cultural, and political context. There are three things there that we got to make sure that we understand what's going on culturally. We got to make sure we understand what's going on historically. And then the political side of it. So those three things will be addressed in my thing. So therefore, I'm asking that the title of this discussion be Kukele Kukatono, a clarion call for Bong and all Liberian citizens to unite and rebuild Bong County in Liberia. So it's a call, and I'm speaking the Pele to say Kukele Kukatono, which of course you understand. Then for me to speak some English that is not part of our culture and history. So the Kukele Kukatono, you understand that, you know what it means, and so we can move on. Also, I advise that before you react to my message tonight, I want you to please listen to my message. Read it many times and digest it before you vomit your dislike or disagreement and or express your content, because it requires sober reflection. When people speak to these day, modern day Liberian people and all of that, they don't even wait to understand what you say, and they react. And they do this and do that. I want to go in that way. When our old folks talk to us, we listened. Because we listened, that's why we're in a position today to be able to give back to our country. So I want you to do that. And after you have soberly reflected on my message, it is my hope you will be inspired to do something to remedy the deplorable condition of our people, if indeed you and I are genuine patriotic citizens of Liberia and true Pan-Africans who believe in being forerunners of our own destiny. Therefore, my Kukele Kukatono message is a national and international call for concerted and deliberate political action as true warriors of peace and reconciliation. To tell Satan enough is enough. One of the concerted actions we must take immediately is to redefine the citizenship of Liberia. Now, what do I mean by that? In my view, a citizen of Liberia is a person who was born in Liberia and or was born in a different country, but migrated to Liberia and acquired legal citizenship through the process of naturalization, or if the immigrant is a child, whether natural born or naturalized, you are entitled to all rights and privileges and opportunities thereto. Therefore, I want to make it categorically clear to all Liberians moving forward that you do not have to be a Pele man or woman, or you do not have to speak Pele or Mandingo or Mam to become a Bong County citizen. As a citizen of Liberia, you can choose to live in any region of Liberia where your desire for self-preservation and pursuit of happiness can be fulfilled. And in Bong County is a very good example of what I'm saying. Not everybody in Bong County that live in Bong County that contributed to the development of Bong County are Pele people or Ma or Mandingo. Yeah. People from all over Liberia live there because of your culture, because of your hospitality, because you love people. That's why they're there. So when you have anything, invite the Kromans, invite the Peabody's, invite the Poots, invite the Gbabas, invite all those people, the Greaves, or Dumba, all those people that contributed towards the development of your county, they are Bong County citizens. Invite them. So that's one thing that we need to understand. Now, also, we must work collectively to rebuild Bong County and Liberia. Indeed, Liberia will develop and become second to none on the continent of Africa if all its citizens, those of indigenous and settler descent, work together to make it happen. So I'm saying this for you to understand that if we want Liberia to be successful, we can't talk about country and Congo, we got to talk about Liberians. Because the country and the Congo people combine to build Banga, to make development in Bong County. They got farms, they got things, property, everything in that place that makes Bong County to be what it is. Yeah. So you need to remember that and live it so that we can all live in peace. Okay, so also, I want to come to Bong County's contribution towards the expansion of Liberia's territory in the hinterland and national social, economic, and political development in Liberia. All this fuss that you're fussing, George, you and Sonda and this person and that person, I want you to remember that Bong County is above all those things. It's above that. And I'm going to tell you some things about Bong County that will make you to feel proud, to understand that what you are doing right now is not correct. It's not correct. But there's a reason for it, and I'll also explain that so that when you go home, you'll be filled, your body, mind, and soul will be nourished. I'm here to feed you, to give you some food that you can take home, that you can share with other people.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
As a citizen of any county in Liberia, it is important to be aware of the history and culture of that region. Citizens of Bong County played a significant role in expanding Liberian government authority in the hinterland of Liberia. That thing that before the government went to Sanikwini, before they went to other places, Lofa, all of that, they had to go through Bong County. They had to go through the Pele people, the Mandingo people, the Ma people there, for them to settle, they agreed for them to do it before they could expand for Liberia to be what it is today. So you play a very important role in the development of Liberia. It's very important. You need to tell your children those things too. because without the contribution of the elders whose names are called earlier, Liberia wouldn't be where it is today. So Bong County is very important when it comes to that. The national, social, economic, and educational and political development of the country as well is important. We got big schools in there. Excuse me, young people, I don't take that. Please. For example, during the founding of the first republic of Liberia, which initially consisted of 3 counties, Monserrato, Grand Bassa, and Sano in 1847. The territorial confines of Liberia extended within a 45-mile radius from the Atlantic coast towards the hinterland. So if you came from the Atlantic Ocean and you just travel 45 miles, that's how big Liberia was, tiny. Okay? So all Africans living outside, beyond the 45-mile radius, were not citizens of Liberia. So the Pele people, the Mam people, the Mandingo people that lived there, they were not citizens of Liberia, because Liberia did not extend that far. Wow. And the reason for that, so Pele, Mam, Mandingo people who at the time lived beyond the 45-mile radius of what is currently Bong County were not Liberian citizens. Instead, they were ruled by traditional kings and rulers who formed splinter kingdoms and principalities after the collapse of major African empires such as Songhai, Mali, Ghana, Benin, etc. So your ancestors came from those areas before they came. And when they came, we had our own governmental system. It wasn't president and vice president. That's why up to this day, our people don't know how to vote. They don't understand the 3 branches of government. They don't understand it because they only used to king. So I could go there, other people that your kind of thing they used to. They also hold elections. You see? So that's very important. Instead, and also, back in the day, the Pele Kingdom extended as far as areas in Guinea before the Berlin Conference and the balkanization of the African continent. That's why you see the Pele people got a large stretch of land in Liberia. They're in a lot of places, even all the way to Guinea. That's one of the reasons for that. Thus, due to Bong County's central location in Liberia, Bong County and its citizens played a crucial role in the expansion of the Liberian government's authority in the hinterland of Liberia. Now, all those things say that most of your children and some of you don't know where they used to have plotters and all those kinds of things. All of them used to pass through those areas to go to other places to expand the authority of the government, because only the people in Monrovia were ruling Liberia at that time. And our people were not citizens. So that's also very important. So, but Swakoko is recorded as the first and only Pele female ruler in the hinterland of Liberia that made significant contributions towards making Bong County a gateway to national development, social, cultural, economic development in Liberia. According to the information on her tombstone in Swakoko Ta in Bong County, and usually we just say Swakoko, but it's Swakoko Ta. Chief Swakoko is believed to have lived from September 23, 1816 to April 11, 1927. She convinced her tribesmen to cooperate with the Liberian government. And she is also credited with providing land to the government and other institutions for the establishment of the Central Agricultural Research Institute, CARI, Phoebe Hospital, and Cottonwood University. So that was a significant contribution. You know, Cottonwood has educated, I don't know, thousands of people and all of that. Phoebe Hospital is just a blessing to the people in the hinterland when it comes to healthcare and all those kinds of things, and training nurses and all of that. That's a big contribution that's coming from Bong County. Those kinds of things are things you need to value as citizens of Bong County. They're not things for you to throw away or to disrespect. So that's important. So, and the Swakoko is also regarded as one of Liberia's prominent feminists. The feminists are women who stand up like men. They don't joke. And she was a very powerful woman. And she advocated for the rights of women, of gender equity. Men used to bow down to her. In the African society, for men to bow down to a woman, you must know there's something behind it. Badi! The good Bong County history, the good Nigerian history. Yes. Okay? And so, with women empowerment, today, we have the first female vice president named Joel Howard Taylor, who was senior senator of Bong County. So history repeats itself. It's important for you to understand that. Inception of Bong County and why Bong and Liberian citizens must unite and work together. So all this time you are not even accounted. You are not represented. People used to represent you in Monroe, in the House of Representatives and the Senate. You were not Pella people, you were not Mom, you were not Magingo. They live right there in the settlements and then they represented you. So say one. So say one. Okay. To help you understand why Bong and Liberian citizens must unite and work together, it is crucial that I provide you some historical information about the inception of Bong County and other hinterland peoples who were integrated into the Liberian political system the same time as you were. This may provide some light for you to understand where you come from. Where you come from. Where you are now and where you must decide to go from here. In 1964, indigenous Liberians living in the hinterland from Bong, Grand Jida, Nima, and Lofa were given county status with full representation in the national legislature based on President Tubman's national integration and unification policy. Before then, the government of Liberia ruled and represented the people in the hinterland indirectly without the citizens' input. Honorable James Y. Babier Sr. was appointed the first superintendent of Bong County, and Banga became the country's headquarters. Now, another thing that's characteristic of the people of Bong County is that they are good farmers. Even your capital city, say Manga, you're going on a farm. Yeah. You go on a farm. So for people whose capital city represents agriculture, they talk about farm. What happened to that? Why you buying pepper for gain today? What happened to that? What happened to the manga that you're talking about? What happened to the farm? That's very important for you to understand that. And then, of course, you got some nice places there. Some of the principal cities and towns in Bong County include, but are not limited to, Banga, Swakopota, Salala, Palala, Wiala, Konola, Toluta, what's that? Pledota, Senye, Bong Town, Sananye, or what's and even including Ganta, which is both a Pele and Mound city. People think Ganta is just for the people in Nimba. But that shows, that's a proof that before they created the political boundaries and all of that, the Pele influence went across all on that side. So that's why Ganta got two names. You call it Ganta, the Maa people call it Gompa.
Wow.
You see? That's why it got Ganta. Ganta is part of your heritage as well. It reflects that connection between the Pele people and the Maa people.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Here is what to note this political milestone. That was a political milestone when they granted Grand Juliet, Bon, Lofa, and Nima county status. But guess what? That happened after Liberia declared her independence 117 years. 117 years before they say, oh wait, no, let them come inside. Let them be part of us too. Let them be represented. 117 years. And after 16 years, that's when he had a coup d'etat because he was still afraid of what would happen. He said these people will put it inside the thing will not continue. But when they finally did it, after 16 years, they had coup d'etat. And the first indigenous Liberian, Samuel Kanyando, or Crown Man, became head of state of Liberia. 117 years. After 16 years, when they included those 4 counties, they used to be afraid of the people from there anyway. So when they included them in there, that was it. Because they constituted a bulk of the Liberian people in the hinterland. Lofa, Bon, Nimba, Grand Juliet, that was it. After 16 years, had coup d'etat in the country. Therefore, it has only been 42 years since indigenous Liberians have had access to political leadership in Liberia, and look where we are today. Just for the 2 years. For the 2 years. So what was the crowd of folk? Oh, the people did this to us, they did this to us, they did this to us. They give it to you. For the 2 years, here we are. Soon, indigenous Liberians who now rule Liberia have forgotten the hardships their ancestors endured to gain access to political leadership. In other words, we have indigenous Liberians starving their mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters in Liberian villages and towns more than the indigenous peoples ever suffered during the 133 years of the American Liberian regime. What a shame. What a shame. We can't prove this unity. So it's not just Bong County. It's not just your association. It's, it's endemic. It's something that happened. In view of this critical analysis, it's safe to say the best way forward to remedy Liberia's ill economic and political problems is for Liberians from both sectors of our ethnic divide to work hand in hand. Liberia will be a better Liberia when the rights of all Liberian citizens are secured and protected under the rule of law. If you don't do it, we'll continue to force because the other people will not sit down. Yeah. Bong County is a vote-rich political supermarket in Liberia. Everybody going to Bong County to get their own, to get their share. After they get their share, like it. They finish with you. No hospitals, no good schools, no good roads, no this, no that. You can't even see the people that were giving you a hard time for their votes. After they get their votes, they come for their business. And why is it so? Why is Bong County a vote rich county? Because it has 12 districts. 12 districts. Wasen, Fuama, Jagule, Kogoya, Pa, Panta, Salala, Sanoye, Swakoko, Tupabli, Yakule, and Zota. Important political part that you play because you got more people, so you get more representation and all of that. But that more representation should come with a voice and a request for you to get things that you deserve, that your people deserve in the country. But it's not like that. But also, as I wind up my discussion, I'm also saying that quote-unquote educated Liberians' role in perpetuating violence, corruption, and suffering in Liberia. Those things that started with us, they started with people who got PhD, like myself, who got masters, this and that. They came here in America, they made a connection with the people, they planned the war, and did this and that. Say, but how will we carry the thing? I say, oh, the people ignorant will just use their children for them to fight our war. They use our children. They fought the war. They killed up the children. They didn't go to school. They deprived them of all those things. And then in the end, they call them Zokos. That's something that's supposed to make you to understand. Say, well, what is this? And you, the mothers, you're sitting down. You, the mothers, you're sitting down. It's important. Everybody got to wake up. This is a message I hope will wake you up. You can't sit down and let your children suffer like that. Ignorant, didn't go to school. They all old now, and all of that. What I'm also suggesting, and then the part about it is that these so-called educated people, if you are educated, then why are you talking about somebody who didn't finish high school and the president of the country and you nothing? So what's wrong with your education? That's number one. Number two, you begging the person you say not educated for a job. In the night you can't sleep. So the problem is if we us, the educated people, we ain't got no guts, who can't stand up on their own. That's why our old people, they never should take nonsense from people because they had their own. They were not brokers. They're too broke. You're running behind somebody, you say the person not educated. Oh, he can't speak English. He can't do this and that. You can speak all the English while you're not in a mansion. Why are you not in a mansion? But you're the same person that went and brought the guns and then bought the guns. So it's important for you guys to really understand this thing before your children, because it hurts me so much when I watch TV and then the children, they're singing Zikwe behind all kinds of people. People don't sing Zikwe, we don't sing Zikwe like that. We don't. We don't. Now where we come from, now where I come from. Zikwe. What are you saying about nobody? How you go say Zikwe must be talking about peace? Yeah, I wait to. They speak all kinds of languages and all of that. Our old people in the graves, they're rolling over the place. Total there, they're rolling. The old man couldn't give me a chance to sleep last night. Where George? The old man couldn't give me a chance to sleep last night. He said, well, come on, tell you, he vest. Total vest with you. Puyon vest with you. Yes. Bang vest, invest with you. Pay vest with you.
Power vest.
Yes. They vest. That's not our tradition. Yeah, not our tradition. So, What can you do? And then they are the same people, educated people that are always criticizing. They can't even keep a coalition. Today, the UPP and KKK and this one, they together. The next they prove, they finish breaking up. You're supposed to be educated, you're supposed to be sober-minded. You're supposed to set good example. You're confusing the so-called uneducated people who are more educated than you are. My mother was a traditional woman, a princess, granddaughter of a royal person in the crown of society. She wanted to go to school, but those days they couldn't let women go to school. My mom lived for her people. She went to like Monrovia. That's where I was born. And even when she was up in her 50s, 60s, and all of that, she decided to go to school. She ended up in the 6th grade. She could read and write, read her Bible, all of that. Everybody needs to talk about manga. When I came from school, I was hungry. I want to eat a woman that she said she doing her homework. I said, man, what kind of trouble is this?
That was nice.
Oh, yeah, but she was a wonderful person. So, I'm a son of a traditional woman. And I'm standing here today. Educated people, well, very educated. The traditional people are educated more than some of us who got the degrees and stuff. We don't even know about our country.
Yes.
Ask some of the people here, these districts that I just named, to find out if they know how many districts in Bong County. You're Bong County citizen, this or that. How many districts in your county? Who are some of your kings and your chiefs and things that rule the place? You don't know. Your children don't know. You see? So it's important that we educate our people. So I looked in a long time, and even in 2019, I decided, I said, because the UN people left. The UN people left because their man that was president of the place had left, so they didn't care again. So no more peace business in the country, they left. So I felt that, well, we have a responsibility. I decided to launch a peace project, the Deputy Artist Kukatono Peace Project in Liberia, because I wanted Liberians themselves to take control of their own peace process. So I started working with college students in Maryland and in Monrovia at the University of Liberia, Tubman University, and all of that. Fortunately for me, some friends of mine, when I talked to them about this peace process, they helped me to raise up to about $20,000 in the past 2.5 years, 3 years, for us to begin the peace process in Liberia. Election is coming again. The people will go around, they will bring back a rice, and people will take it and they will vote, and somebody will get there again. They won't know the difference between A and bullfrog, and will be inside again. And it's going to take 6 years again, or 4 years. Somebody there, right now, my age, by the time the person leaves, the first thing to go to that thing, people will go, be old now. You see what I'm talking about? And what are you achieving as a nation and people? Yes. So it's important that we promote peace and reconciliation. When I did that, the people that contributed, out of over 100 some more people that made contribution, only 2 Bong County citizens made donation to that peace project. A peace project that has a Pele name and title. But, and then we're taking logistics, on it. Most of the people that donated to my project are people from the Southeast. Grand Gire, Grand Cru, Sano, Maryland, Grand Bassa.
Yeah.
They're in the lead. When I sent out the invitation for young people to come and join, only 1 Pele boy joined. 1 Pele boy out of a whole number of almost 100, college students in Liberia. It speaks volumes because, one, Banga was used as a rebel base for years. They tortured the people there. And when people are tortured, they're scared and all of that, they have a tendency to just say yes to the people that suppress them. So we are doing research on it to find out where the people that want peace and reconciliation in Liberia, where they're coming from, and who's standing up for that. Everybody playing hypocrisy. They're being hypocritical. They kind of smile, yo, this and that, oh yeah, that peace thing, that good thing. No, you gotta pay money for you to do the things, you put it on radio. You gotta pay money for me to take the people to travel to Banga, to Ganta, to Grand Jide, to talk about peace and reconciliation, just how the political people do it. If some kind of political person come here today, the whole place is going to be packed. Because it's also nonsense. That's why you don't hear the things you're supposed to know about your country. They can't talk all kind of nonsense. The whole place is going to be packed. You're not even going to have a seat. That's why they're scared of people like us. Because when we come to talk, what we're supposed to talk, for you to hear it. Because why? I don't have to go to anybody in the night to beg for a job. No. Why God gave you, be satisfied with it. They're not satisfied. That's why they're going through the things they're going through today. And they're not even happy. When I sleep in my home, I want to sleep in my home, let people see the beauty of my house, and order enough of the put myself in jail. But they're putting themselves in jail because of the things that they do to people. So it's important. So what I decided to do 2 days ago, I signed a contract with a local FM station in Liberia. I will sit here in America and I will teach the people in Liberia about the things they need to know, the things I share here with you, I will share with them so that they will know the difference between A and Bufra. Because election time is coming next year. So I just want to stop here for now to let you know that I want to repeat that Bong County citizens are not the only group of Liberians who are in turmoil back home and in the diaspora. Grand Jide Association in America is split, and so many other tribal county organizations in the United States. Therefore, I want you to know that by virtue of your inability to work together as citizens from the same country and county, especially as educated and professional Liberians, it's important that you know that we are responsible. We are responsible. You, and myself, and you are responsible for the suffering our people going through, because you cannot dialogue and understand one another to solve the things you're supposed to do. You gathered here today because you want to do something for your county. But look how many people are here. How many people are here? When you do that, you affect the people back home. Oh, damn, when the people call you can't hear anything good from home. Oh, I this, I say go, I this and that, they want that, they want to do this and that, want to carry a person to Ghana, want to do that. But when the people that are making you to carry a sick relative to Ghana, and the people you seeking is way behind. Yeah, that's the way you're seeking, like, almost the way you're seeking because you're going. When you get sick, nowhere to take you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you for the invitation. I hope that the message that I've delivered that will be of help to you and the people of Bong County and Liberia. Thank you so much.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
We are Liberia. Liberia is our home. Liberia people. Liberia.